This might be one of the most exciting and passionate shows I've ever done. I've been a tournament organizer for 10 years, and 8 years consecutively I've been running Warhammer 40K events on a monthly basis. I absolutely love the community. I love what I do. I love being a part of your world, and I appreciate every single year. And I hope to have 8, 10 more years of helping out the community just learn a little bit more about the world of Warhammer 40K. So continue to be passionate, care about your people. And I'm going to break down exactly what it takes to be a Warhammer 40K tournament organizer. I never claimed to be the best in the game. Shoot, I don't even claim to be a good one. But I know that I care. And I know that I care about the experience of everyone that comes out to any of my events. So stay tuned and locked in. Want to be a Warhammer 40K TO. It takes a lot. There's really no glory and love in doing this. I hope you accept these terms. You're going to be hated. People are going to have issues with you and what you do, how you might be judging and ruling situations. But you, as a tournament organizer, has a responsibility of just making sure that you stay mature, act like a leader at all times, and do the best that you can do for everyone, or the majority of everyone that will accept and love your events. So today there's going to be 7 steps that I think it takes to be a good tournament organizer. And the first step being preparation and planning. Choosing the right venue. First of all, I just want to say make sure to support your friendly local game stores. If you're playing in the store, try to buy a product, look out for them. It allows a tournament organizer to continue to do what that individual is doing, continues to allow that store to exist, and continues to allow product to be in that store. The more product you buy, the more product they're going to bring in, because they're going to know there's a certain hype for it. There's a certain need for it. So support your local game stores when you can. Now, choosing the right venue, making sure that you have accessibility when you're walking through hallways for everyone who is handicap accessible, who is 6-7 feet tall. You have to make sure that you have accessibility for every individual to come in and enjoy their games without discomfort. Make sure there's space for tables. That also means make sure that there's actual tables at the event as well, or the venue. That way you don't have to go out and purchase tables. Make sure that they have restrooms, or let your participants know where they can go if the restrooms end up getting filled up. I know I have had those certain issues throughout the years, and we always find a solution to this particular problem. And if possible, have amenities there. Second bullet point, setting the date. Avoid clashes with major events and consider local player availability. Remember, local players only have a finite of money. They only have enough to go to certain events, or they're going to pick and choose to go to their favorite events. Make sure that yours is economical enough for them to participate. And on top of that, you're not stepping on other toes throughout the state. I'm in the state of Florida. I currently do RTTs, GTs, and super majors in Orlando, and RTTs and GTs in the Tampa area. I always make sure that I go on Best Coast pairings to check if there's an event going on that weekend, so I don't clash with any other tournament organizer and event setting. I want to make sure that I'm compassionate and empathetic about what other people are doing. You're really going to cannibalize yourself if you don't put yourself in this position, because you're not going to succeed overall. You want to put yourself in a position for success. You want to make sure that these individuals are coming and are having a great time. Also, tournament format for RTTs, GTs, majors, and even team events. Understand what suits your community. If your area likes team events, try to include more team events if possible. RTTs, people love to come out to RTTs. It's all about practice, people playing with their war Barbies, putting it on the tabletop. Sometimes, and I don't advise or tell anyone what to do, but sometimes I'm a little bit more lenient in RTTs. I allow people to do things and what they need to do. Set their time up and set them up for success as well so they can get prepared for GTs and majors. Also, get prize support and sponsorship. Try to make sure that if you're at a FLG, a friendly local game store, try to make sure that the prize support at all times is store credit, and then in return they're getting product from that store. That way that store accrues some revenue from what you're doing. You're not going to make any money, but allow that store to make money, because what you're doing is about passion and love. Make sure that that store is still sustainable so you can continue your passion and love. Collaborate with stores when you're doing GTs and majors and team events, and companies as well for prizes and giveaways. Just talk to people. Try to get familiar with people. It's the best thing that you can do to ensure that your events have the greatest swag. TO tip number 2, rules and structure. Make sure that you're clear and that you have player packets that are comprehensible. Make sure to include event rules, scoring, mission formats, and FAQs. What I usually like to do at my events, if they have any rules questions, I usually put at my GT levels and higher a little rules blurb in the player packet so people are aware of any confusing and just egregious type of rules that's happening in the meta right now. Make sure that you're doing proper scoring, getting everyone's points in. If someone has a buy, try to give them an appropriate amount of points throughout that event. A lot of people have fluctuated and changed throughout the years in how much they give for buys. Usually it's around 75 to 85 points, depending what points event you go to. Make sure that your missions are clear to people. People know exactly what missions they're going to play every single round. It helps them out. It really helps your players out understand what they're going to participate in, and then so they can practice and be even better at that event. And FAQs, make sure to show people a link. You know, send them a link of Warhammer community where all the FAQs are at, so they know exactly where to get it, just in case. There are a lot of new players. This is not always about veteran players. There's a lot of novice players as well who come for the first time at a tournament because they saw your social media post and they want to participate and have fun as well. Be consistent with your judging and rulings. Have a dedicated team of knowledgeable judges. Make sure that you pick out a good team, people who are passionate about doing what you do at the same level and just the same amount of empathy and love for the community. Just get good people, right? There are bad people in this world. Don't put a bad person on your team. They're going to just make sure that they ruin it for you, your reputation, and anything else that can lead to you just not having a great experience at your event. Make sure you're utilizing technology, tools like Best Coast Parent, otherwise known as BCP, or Tourney Keeper for pairings and score tracking. It makes their lives a lot easier. Making sure that you open up army lists a few days before so people are aware what they're going to run into can help them out. Make sure that they're trying to set themselves up for success. That's one of the most important things. Always set up your community for success. Help them out as much as you can without having to hold their hands. Allow them to learn themselves and practice themselves. Make sure that your rule clarity and FAQs are always addressed in a very common, particular way. Make sure that common rules disputes are disputed in advance so there is no confusion like we were talking about previously. Make sure that you have some concise information out there in FAQs and show them exactly where they can get their own personal FAQs. If you're gonna put some in the packet, or let people know to message you, that way you can clean up any of those issues that people have in advance and before your event. It makes your life a lot easier. Number three, make sure to have great communication and community engagement. Make sure that you do some pre-event hype. That includes social media posts, teasers, and community engagement to build excitement. Ask people, what do they want to see? What missions do they want to see in the future being played out? Ask your community. Try to do this before these events. Let them know, hey, I have a GT coming up. Are you guys going to participate and support? Would you guys like to come out here and enjoy yourself with all of these prizes, this swag, and a judge that's going to be there and care for you? Let them know and try to spread it out on social media as much as you can. Clear communication channels. Use email, use social media, and Discord for updates and quick answers. What I like to do, usually at a GT level or higher, is I open up a Discord channel and a Facebook channel and email as well to let people know, hey, ask me questions. Let me know ahead of time so there is no confusion at the event. That way you don't have to walk into a got you moment. Let your community know. Set them up for success. And you're going to hear me say that a lot, but set them up for success. Let them know all these things so they know that you care. Always make sure that you're getting player feedback. Actively seek feedback post-event to learn and improve. And like I said, try to get that feedback prior. That way you know going into your event exactly what people are looking forward to. But also, ask people after the event, hey, what can I improve on? What can I make better for you and your experience at my, for example, Onslaught 2K RTT? Or, for example, my Grand Onslaught 9 that's coming up in about a month. How can I make that experience better for you? Or Crucible, super majors like that, where you have 150 participants hanging out and having a great time. Make sure that you're also community building. Foster a friendly, competitive, and inclusive environment. Make sure that you're welcoming to everyone. Just because they're a novice player or they've never played the game of Warhammer 40K doesn't mean that they shouldn't expose themselves to a tournament that you're running. Maybe they should start off walking before they start running by playing at one of your RTTs like an Onslaught 2K. But it's okay if they show up to a super major or a GT and it's their first time. Let them know that you're there for them, that you're going to help them. And if they have any issues, you'll walk over to their table and let them know exactly what's going on and set them up for success. Once again, like I said, I'm going to continue with that word because it's very important to be empathetic and understanding to everyone that comes out to your location. TO tip number 4, event day management. Try to do an early setup and make sure everything is organized. Arrive early for setup, including terrain, tables, and registration. Make sure that you're doing your footprints first. Just a pro tip. Try to do all of your footprints on all of your tables and then put the terrain on it. That way you have the ability to micromanage the portions that you're passionate about. I'm very passionate about micromanaging the footprints, the layouts, things like that. That way I know that it's set exactly to what GW standards are or whatever standards you're using. And then how it helps out is that you get community members to want to walk up to you and tell you, hey, how can I help? You tell them, hey, I've already set up all the footprints, just throw the terrain on top of it. And you have a display table. And you say, hey, you see that table over there where I've already done it for one? Just emulate that, clone that into the next tables so they know exactly what to do. That'd be a great way for you to get some help as well. There are a lot of wonderful people in the community who want to help you out. They want to make sure that they're being a part of that world as well. Make sure to appreciate those people. Try to buy them a lunch, try to buy them a snack, a drink, or whatever it might be. So make sure that you're setting yourself up for success when it comes to that stuff. Make sure you have the appropriate amount of tables as well. Don't put yourself in a situation where you rent out a venue and there's no tables there. It's just going to cost you more money. And most of these things are coming out of your pocket, if not all of it, right? So make sure that you have the things that you need for that event. And registration, make sure that people have the ability to register easily, have you an extra tablet on hand or something like that so people can just register their armies just in case they walk in. And usually this is situations for like RTTs, which is Rogue Trader tournaments. So people have the ability to just walk in and say, hey, I want to play. It's my first game. Welcome them with open arms. Make sure you have a smooth registration process. Minimize wait times with pre-registration and clear check-in processes. BCP is great for that. People can pre-register, prepay, so then when they come to the day of the event, they don't have any of those stressors. They don't have to worry about you telling them, hey, I saw that you didn't pay into this event. This is a pay-in event. This is to give you the opportunity to give everyone swag in the event that people or yourself might win this, right? So make sure to grab that early and make sure that it's clear. Also, round management. Keep rounds on schedule and make announcements loud and clear. Make sure that people are not playing over the allotted amount of time, right? You might allot amount of time of 3 hours like I do. Some people do less. Make sure that they're playing within those parameters of that time constraint that they have per round. Make announcements. I like to do milestones. I like to tell people after the first hour that they need to be wrapping up their first battle round in that round so they can continue on the game at a good pace. Try to do it again an hour later, half an hour later. Try to hit those milestones. Walk around, let people know, hey, what battle round are you in? I'm just asking you because I care and I want to make sure that the fluidity of the game is going right. I want to make sure that one person is not holding up another person in that game. Plus, it gives you an opportunity to talk to to the community members and show them that you care. Also, handling disputes. Stay calm and fair, and most importantly, be mature. Take that opportunity to help lead and make someone better by talking it out with those individuals. Make sure to escalate serious disputes to the head judge if you're not the head judge, or you take it seriously as the head judge and let people know, hey, this is how I'm going to adjudicate it. Regardless if I'm right or wrong, I'm going to continue to look it up and I'll let you know later if I made an issue. But make sure to educate your community. Always let them know. Show them the rules as well. Let them know, hey, this is what the rule is so you can see it yourself. That's a great way to educate people so they understand that you care. And number 5 should have really been number 1. Create a memorable experience. I love this portion of tournament organizing. I love it when people are happy, smiling, enjoying themselves, meeting new friends, hanging out with their friends, whatever it might be, just the camaraderie, just the environment of people just being pleasant, smiling, and have a great time. Let people know, hey, we might have music. Let them see decorations and have a welcoming vibe to enhance the experience itself. Make sure that you're telling people good morning or good night, have a great day, whatever it might be. Just be a plain good person. Be a great leader by leading your individuals in that event the right way. Also, make sure that player comfort is very sound and very strong at your event. Make sure that's water. They need to hydrate. These individuals are playing for a very long time. Participants might be there for 11 hours that day. Make sure that they're hydrated. Remind people, hey, drink water. And also, if there's snacks and you're able to bring snacks or there's snacks at the location, make sure you're letting people know about that as well. Make sure you have great seating so there's seats at every single table so people can sit down. It's very, challenging to stand up for 9 hours if you're doing 3-hour rounds in one day. Make sure you give them the opportunity to take a seat. Give them a break. Between rounds, try to give them 5 to 15 minutes to just walk off and just grab a little break. And adequate amount of space between the tables. Like I was telling you earlier, make sure that you're welcoming to every demographic of life, every creed, gender, size, whatever it might be. Make sure that you have an adequate amount of space between tables. People want to be comfortable coming to your events. They don't want to be rubbing butts with their opponent right next to them. Make sure that there's enough space. Make sure there's enough space for people to put their armies, their army trays, whatever it might be, the army cards. Make sure they have enough room for that as well. One of the most important things I like to harp on in my events as well, and where I like to put a lot of money and store credit into, is the Sportsmanship Award, which I like to call the Chris Wall Award. It was a wonderful individual in the community that had a hardship and is no longer with us. And I absolutely love him very much. And he showed what it was to be a great community member. So I named it after him. Encourage positive play by rewarding good sportsmanship. Do that by giving people extra money and prize support. Giving them extra prizes for being a great sport throughout the event. Award them. Let them know. Let the people know. Give them a medal. Give them a trophy. Whatever it is, make sure that this is one of the most important components at your event so everyone can follow suit and just be a great sport. Let people know that you care about everyone having a great experience. And photography and social media. Try to capture moments to promote future events and build hype. Try to take videos, photos, whatever it might be, and let people know exactly what you have going on. Every single event, I like to take a video for about a minute or two long about for everyone. I walk around, I do a video on everyone that's at the event and participating, and try to let them know, hey, I care. I want to see you enjoying yourself, and everybody wants to see you enjoying yourself as well. So put that on social media and let people know, hey, this is a fun event, this is a great time, and I want you to come as well. Number 6, post-event actions. Make sure that you're putting results out for that event in a timely fashion. Share results and rankings properly on social media. Like I was telling you previously, if you have someone that won Best Sport Award or won Best Paint, let the world know. I try to do a banner for anyone that hits first place on podium as well. I give them their opportunity to shine and their name to reflect in the entire community for their hard work and for their great sportsmanship as well. Let people know. Let your community shine. Let people see how special the people at your event were being that particular day. Let people know that you appreciate them very much by sending them out thank you messages. Show appreciation to players, sponsors, judges, and volunteers. And this goes for participants as well. Vice versa. Try to tell your judges thank you very much for everything they do, because this is a thankless position for us tournament organizers. We don't get money to do this stuff. We don't get the accolades and all the love in the world. Most of the time, it's a lot of bitterness and hatred towards tournament organizers, especially for those who feel privileged and that you need to rule in their way because they have a particular interpretation or vision. No, stand your ground as a tournament organizer and let people know, look, this is this event and this is how this is going to be adjudicated. But make sure to appreciate everyone, all of your sponsors, sending out emails after you're done, telling your judges thank you, letting your volunteers know that you appreciate everything that they're doing by buying them lunch, and expressing a multitude of times how thankful you are and appreciative you are about their assistance in helping you at your event. Make sure to collect feedback as well. Use surveys, surveymonkey.com, things like that, and online polls to gather constructive feedback. Ask people at your event as well. Hey, how is this going? Do you have an adequate amount of time? Are you feeling nice and cool? Is it warm in here? How can I make your experience a lot better? People are usually going to tell you the bad, right? If you allow them to just talk about it publicly. So ask them beforehand. Allow them to tell you the good and the bad, the pros and the cons. And event recap video. Create a highlights reel or recap video to engage with your audience and promote the next event. Like I was telling you previously, I like to do videos so people know. And I also let them know in the video, hey, I'm doing another one next month. I'm doing a Grand Onslaught 9 next month on March 15 and 16. That's a true statement. I try to let people know, hey, I want you to have a great experience, and I'm showing you that this is a great time by looking at this video and seeing people participate at that event. Pro TO tip number 7, last but not least, is avoiding common pitfalls. Overcomplicated rules. Keep it simple to avoid player confusion and delays. What I like to do in GT levels or higher is I like to put FAQs and common interactions and interpretations into those player packets. Make sure that it's completely clear so people are not confused, and that way it doesn't create delays at your event and you have to look for a particular rule to show them. Let people know. One of the biggest things, as an example, is letting people know that if you have windows on your terrain and it's a first floor, let players know, hey, you do not have line of sight through these windows on the first floor. This is how most places, if not all places, play their terrain. Tournament organizers do not have liquidity where they can just be purchasing terrain all the time. Some of us just have what we have, and hopefully people enjoyed their experience playing on this particular type of terrain. It's very expensive. It costs over thousands and tens of thousands of dollars to really kit out a large event for people to enjoy themselves in. When it comes to terrain, it's not cheap. For those of you who already know, terrain usually starts around $200 a set. Now just multiply that by 40 when you want to have an 80-person event, right? That's a lot of money. So let people know, remind them, hey, this is what I have. We're just going to have to play around the parameters of just these small house rules that we have in place for this. Also, make sure you don't have poor time management. Ensure that in rounds start and end on schedule to maintain momentum. You don't want to stop the cadence of your event. Don't allow people to play over their time. Your allotted time at that event, if you have 3-hour rounds, is the allotted time. Make sure that you're reminding people, giving people milestones. Make sure that you're not just sitting there and not allowing people to know these milestones, and let them know, hey, there's 10 minutes left in this round. You need to start wrapping it up so we can go into lunch so everyone can enjoy their time at lunch. Also, avoid ignoring community feedback. Make sure that you're adapting and improving on player experiences and feedback. Make sure that everyone is heard out. Ask people questions. Do this pre the event, post the event. That way you understand exactly what it takes to make everyone's experience amazing at your event. And one of the most important things too is prevent burnout, right? Delegate tasks to a team to avoid TO fatigue. Now, I like to take off every single year in November and December. That way I have the opportunity to catch a breather, to spend some time with my family. Remember, we all have a life. We all have families. Make sure that everything is running smoothly. Make sure that you have individuals that can help you out. That way you're not setting up 40 tables at an event all by yourself. And by the time round 1 starts, you're so burnt out, you can't think about judging or adjudicating or helping people out or just walking around just to tell people how, hope that they have a great day or good morning and things like that. And that's another thing. Make sure to walk around and talk to all of your participants if you can. At least let them know that you care. Say hello, say good morning. Ask them how they're doing, how they have been, or welcome them for the first time at your event. Now, we can talk about this and I can break this down for hours, but I wanted to give you the basics of what it takes to be a tournament organizer. And if you end up becoming one, I hope you become a great leader, a non-toxic individual that just creates more problems in the community of your state, and someone who just sets people up for success. Work hard as a tournament organizer. Be passionate. Love your community. Do the best that you can by those individuals. And people are going to see that. It's going to resonate throughout your events. And people are going to continue to participate. And the last thing is, in bold red letters, I wanted to let everyone know from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for 10 amazing years. I really love you all. Thank you for all of the amazing experiences, pictures, memories, everything that I've been through when it comes to just Onslaught 2K RTTs, Grand Onslaughts throughout the years, all the venues and locations that I've been a part of, and Crucible and the team events as well that I do throughout the year. Thank you so much. Much love, and continue to play the game with the best game etiquette that you can play the game as a player. And as a tournament organizer, do the best that you can do always. Thank you so much to everyone who participated to the very end. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe as always. And once again, I just wanted to say, right, I absolutely love this community. I love everybody that's a part of it. There was nothing here that was targeted at anyone in particular, any groups, demographics, or anything like that. I just wanted to make sure that you're aware of that. I am very tactful. I want to make sure that things are clear. And that's how I've adjudicated and judged throughout the years. I think the consistency and being serious and just being plain mature about things is a good thing to have as a tournament organizer and as a leader as well. So if you like the content today, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget, Onslaught Gaming 40K, where victory is just a strategy away. Take care, everyone, and have a wonderful day.